Thanks, and welcome to this bonus race for the FFR Rando Marathon Winter 2022. We are bringing you this bonus race, a Runback redemption for Frantic and Castlevania 2 Randomizer. We are accepting donations for the Burn Children's Fund during the run, but without further ado, let's get on with the race.
Alright, thank you very much. I'm Frantic32, and this is Castlevania 2 Randomizer, Town Randomizer Flags. Go in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so for those who didn't catch the other day, this is the Town Randomizer of the Castlevania 2 Randomizer. Everything is going to be randomized with enemies, enemy HP, items, and item prices. But every town and mansion is in a spot that's not where it would normally be. So it makes it a little more challenging, a little more fun, and this is an okay start for the starting town of Jova. It's good to have oak stakes available, but the Sacred Flame doesn't do a whole lot for me. So where we're at right now would be where the town of Alba is, which is the first town after you go across the boat ride in Vanilla. And then with also there are a lot of quality of life changes for this. The day to night transitions are changed, so they're not so slow, and no box pops up in the middle of the air. You can enter shops and churches during the nighttime cycle. And yeah, just kind of those little things that are kind of irritating for people in the vanilla version have kind of been fixed.
Okay.
Also, the clues, there are 13 clue books available that you can find, and those have actually been changed so you actually get valuable clues.
So I was
If
going to ask
anyone,
you about that. I saw that while you were in town, you fell off the ledge there and went all the way to the bottom.
oh
Is that
yeah,
a glitch, or is that just a trick that you're able to use?
it's a trick. You pretty much have to be on the exact subpixel, which I believe the 816 subpixel. But if you're on that subpixel, you can do a whip at the edge right there, and it'll allow you to clip through. That'll be used quite a bit during the run.
Seems like a handy trick.
Yeah, it saves a little bit of time. I'm not the most adept at it, but it's not too shabby either. There are also a couple of wrong warps. One for sure I'll be able to do, but one other one is going to require holy water, so we may or may not see that one. As of right now, I'm going to try to get to level 1 and then pick up an oak stake. And then I'll probably still pick up the Sacred Flame, just in case I need to hit something that's on a ledge below me so I can get across. So yeah, if anyone in chat has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer as well.
So, as someone
For
who
now,
is
I'm gonna.
I talked right over you. Sorry, dude.
No, you're fine.
Gonna say I've not really played Castlevania 2. What are you looking for?
Oh yeah. So in order to access Dracula's castle, you need to pick up his 5 body parts. You need to pick up the magic cross, which gives access to Dracula's castle, and you need to pick up the 3 crystals, the white, blue, and red crystal. And the crystals and your whip upgrades are all progressive, so you can't just get the red crystal and be able to go across the tornado spot, or go pick up the flame whip immediately. It's gonna progress as you go.
Now, you have lives in this, correct?
I'm sorry?
You have lives? Like, if you die, you have 3
Yeah,
lives for... Okay.
3 lives. But if you lose all 3 of those lives, in vanilla, you would lose all of your hearts and all of your experience points. But in the randomizer, you only lose half your hearts. So it's a little more helpful. And enemies all drop hearts every time, unlike vanilla.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I will admit, most of my experience with Castlevania has been the Game Boy Advance versions and, of course, Symphony of Night. So, it's interesting to see this. I am
So,
curious about the day-night cycle. How does that work?
it runs off the game timer, so at the top of my menu box, that 105, that's that's telling you it's 1 a.m. in game time, and it'll turn back to date. Oh, that was 5 a.m. I'm sorry. So at 6 a.m. it turns back to day. And then I'm going to set up another one of those floor drops. And we're going to see if we can get across this river, because that mansion that was located to the left of here, that is not a good idea at level 1 with a leather whip. That is the final mansion in the game, and it is treacherous, to say the least.
So, what is the overall story of this game?
So basically, it takes place right after the first game. When Dracula was killed by Simon, he placed a curse on Simon, and in this game, that curse is slowly killing him. So he has to collect all of Dracula's body parts and rid himself of the curse before he perishes from it.
My most hated enemy, the flying Medusa heads.
Oh yeah, I am so happy I got across there. That is a sketchy spot. And these graveyard enemies are very annoying because contact damage, mainly with the harpies, the plants, and the mummies, take a lot of your health. As you see, that harpy just took half of it. So it's a little sketchy until I finally can get some upgrades here.
Looks like a really good example of Nintendo hard.
And so this town, it's situated where the starting town would normally be, but this is the final town in the game, and there is nothing here. Everyone had already abandoned it because it was so close to Dracula's castle. So here you just walk on by. Now, right now, we're kind of hoping to find any sort of progression, or at least a whip upgrade. That way I can actually start killing enemies a little easier. And I'll probably try to level up along the way here so I don't die every 2 seconds.
That's what I was going to ask, is how many upgrades are there for the whips? And is there anything specific you need for the upgrades, or is it just hoping you run across them?
You just kind of have to run across it. There are a total of 5 whips. You start out with the leather whip, then you get the thorn whip, chain whip, morning star, and then finally the flame whip. So each whip does double the damage. So the thorn whip's going to do twice as much damage as this leather whip. And then the chain whip will do twice as much damage as the thorn whip, and so on and so forth.
That just sounds like a lot of damage that you could use.
Yeah, it would be very helpful. If I even had one whip upgrade, I would probably have taken on that mansion, but it's just too big of a risk. Because the boss in that particular mansion takes, I believe, 240 hits with the leather whip.
Oh.
What do we got here? Okay, so this is Berkeley Mansion. It's preferable to come through here in Randomizer with some sort of block breaker like the nail or the holy water because you can obtain 3 clues. But I'm kind of desperate right now, so I'm going to see what this merchant has, and hopefully it's useful to me, as well as having the oak stake, so I can actually clear this mansion.
Now, this seems like a fairly open world type game. I'm guessing
Well,
there's
yeah.
going to be spots where you're stuck, where you have to have an item to progress further into it.
Yeah. There's an area where Death's Mansion would normally be that you have to have Dracula's heart in order to go there. Otherwise, the ferryman will just keep taking you to where I started. But the town randomizer makes it pretty open world compared to the standard randomizer, where you're just trying to figure out if you need to go to the left or to the right first. Doing decent on hearts, unless this is a very expensive whip upgrade. Then I should be able to pick up whatever's here. Because with the cost randomizer on those, I've seen whips as low as 80 hearts and as high as 180.
So, you are getting experience from killing the enemies too, correct?
Yeah, the hearts I'm collecting from every enemy are my currency. And it's pretty much RNG in the vanilla game, whether you get those or not. But here, it just drops them every time. It just makes the annoying grinding a little less, I guess, annoying.
I saw you got a crystal there.
Yeah, that is my first crystal, which technically would give me access to this mansion, because it'll make the platform spawn at the beginning. But since I know that platform's always there, I can immediately just jump on it. So now I'm hoping for that blue crystal, because it will open up another spot in this area. And then the orb netted me the silver knife, which is the hands down the worst sub-weapon in this game.
Does this have the standard sub-weapons in there? The cross, the holy water, the knife, the axe, and I don't know if the pebble counts. Or the clock.
No. The Simon's Quest has a bit of a different set. You do have the holy water, but there are 3 different knives you can collect. There's the standard dagger, there's the silver knife, and then there's the golden knife. And then you also have the sacred flame, the diamond, and I think a couple others. Oh, there's also laurels, which will give you invincibility for a little bit, and garlic, which opens up a couple of checks for me. Okay, my other favorite enemy, spiders on stairs.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest things for me to get used to when I tried to play some of the older Castlevanias, were the stairs.
Yeah, but just randomized enemies make it a little worse. Oh, just get me out of here. These enemies are too high-powered. Alright, so this area does have an item that I could collect, but I need the nail or the holy water in order to access it down there. This is where you normally find the sacred flame sub-weapon. So if there's nothing over here that I can access in this far town area where the farthest town would normally be, I'm just going to have to try to do Death Simulator through that mansion over towards the beginning.
Somebody in the chat made a good point. Do you find that the randomizer does make the lag in game a lot worse?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, I can't kill you. Yeah, you'll get a lot of lag in several areas. Especially the aforementioned mansion that I skipped earlier. It's called Laruba Mansion, but we've, in our community, we've deemed it Lagruba, just because of how much lag it has.
So, do your sub-weapons damage go off of your whip?
Yes. Some sub-weapons, you, get damaged, by how strong your whip is. And then, unfortunately, where I'm at, I won't be able to access anything because I still don't have a block breaker. But I am going to farm to level 2 here. Just because it's going to make going through Laruba Mansion a lot easier. But as you can see, the town people are hanging around right now, and it makes it a little hard to farm.
Let's say, can you accidentally hit them, or does that cause problems?
No, it won't cause any issues. It'll just bring up the text box every time. Oh, I'm gonna finish farming up here. Oh, your levels go by your experience. So I need 150 experience points in order to get my next level up. And then level 3 would be 200 experience. And also, you have to be in certain areas in order to farm the next level. So for example, this area right here, it is level 2 zone. So, I can farm to level 2, but level 3 will not happen.
How big of a requirement are the levels in this game?
Not necessarily required, but it makes things a lot easier.
Guessing they boost stats and give you more hearts?
No, it just boosts your life bar.
Okay.
So with level 2, it grew my life bar by double. If I hit level 3, it'll stay the same, but I'll take even less damage. And then level 4 would increase the bar size again.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. I'm just going to take that death right now. I can get a little bit more hearts before I go into the mansion. Because I will not be able to kill anything in this mansion.
So how is the logic on this set up? Is it fairly decent for most randomizers, or is this a common issue where sometimes you'll get stuck behind a wall of death? Or is it just like hard difficulty when you set it up?
It's not too bad on standard. You're pretty much blocked by holy water, the nail, or the crystals, or the heart. Heart grants the access to the other area from the boat. And then red crystal will open up the tornado spot that's so infamous for this in this game. Blue crystal gives you access to where the second mansion of the game would normally be at. So it's not too bad, it's just a matter of finding things. Like, the heart can be very, very late in-game, and then you're going to have to go all the way back if that's where an item is. I think that should be enough. Hopefully I don't take too many deaths here. So this is kind of going to be me just jumping over enemies as much as possible and trying to not lose all my hearts. All of these enemies right now are going to probably take 20 to 30 hits from my leather whip. So this is definitely not where I really want to be. But it's looking like my progression's here, so I'm not being given a whole lot of choice. Basically, I'm hoping for probably a whip upgrade if I can. Oh, shoot. I also made a mistake, too. I didn't grab another oak stake. That's okay.
So what are the oak stakes for? Just
I'm gonna grab one actually, but they break the orbs open so you can get the item out of them. The orbs would normally be where Drax parts are in the vanilla game, but here it's just any item, and yeah. There's 5 orbs in total.
does that teleport you back to town?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even explain that. So in the randomizer, if you hit select and then you press up A and B, it will warp you back to the starting town. It just makes things a little faster so the randomizer isn't quite as slow and clunky.
It's actually a pretty fun feature.
Yeah. The person who made this, Blood, Sweat, and Code, he did a tremendous job on this and made it very fun. And also, the town randomizer was created by Kalari there in chat. So big thanks to him as well for putting this town randomizer together.
Yeah, this makes me want to play this. This means I have to learn the original game first before I can play the randomizer.
You don't necessarily have to. There are trackers so you can learn where things are, and there are also beginner modes that we have in the randomizer so you can learn. Okay, 1 death, that's okay. Yeah, I have soft lock before, son. Doing a floor drop in a wrong spot. But yeah, it'll get me out of that mess if I need to. Okay. Spider. Up, up, up. And we made it. Spiders are the hands down worst enemy on stairs.
What do you say the learning curve is on playing this?
It's not... I wouldn't say it's too bad. It's just mainly learning the locations, and you don't have to do all the floor drops and things that we do to have fun with it. But yeah, it's a blast. It kind of just gives a fresh spin on this old flawed game. I can't believe that eyeball didn't hit me.
I'm just amazed by the amount of hits you have to do in order to kill anything.
Yeah, being that this is the very last mansion in the game, everything here is very high powered, and you can level up to level 6, and I believe this mansion is a level 6 zone, so that kind of just gives you an idea. Alright, so we got the blue crystal and the ring so far. Both are required, but the ring won't do anything for me at all, other than grant me access to Dracula's castle. Same thing with the magic cross when I obtain that.
Those spikes are a little bit trolly there.
Yeah. Especially when other enemies are around. Nail, that is nice, but it's not going to help me with this fight. So, if you guys want to plug any sort of events coming up, anything like that, yeah, I'm going to be here a minute.
Just give me a second. So, this is for the Burn Children's Fund. Their mission statement is to ease the recovery process for MUSC pediatric burn patients and their families through supplies and training for the highest quality burn care, direct family support, and education. So far, I don't believe we've gotten a donation yet, but hopefully we'll get one here soon.
As I had mentioned, yeah, this takes about 240 hits with the leather whip.
Yeah, that's going to be a long fight.
It is. And if I had the rib, which gives me a shield, this would be a lot easier. But I don't, so I'm going to kind of have to jump over these fireballs, and it's pure RNG.
Oh, on the angles of the fireball, or?
Just how many times she shoots. So.
Okay. Is she getting hit by her own fireballs too, or no?
No.
Okay. I see the animation for when she gets hit from you makes it look like she flashes, so I wasn't sure if... So Draco wants to know what's worse, blobs or Medusa heads?
Medusa heads.
I say Medusa heads.
Okay, I gotta take this very slowly. Very careful. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to get up and get a snack or...
Well, at least the good news is all the other bosses should be a lot easier after this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Death is the only other boss besides Dracula, and as long as I don't have just a leather whip, he's fine. Yeah, I'm not going for a lot of extra hits like I normally would, just because the leather whip's a little more difficult because it's short. And I don't want to die and have to start doing this all over again. So if I have to take only 2 or 3 hits per cycle, I will.
So you were talking about some of the quality of life things for this game. What you want to talk about those a little bit? Like, what's been changed into the randomizer to, make it a little easier? I saw the town warp, but
yeah, and then just shortening the day-night cycle makes it a lot smoother, and you don't have the box popping up in the air. And you can enter towns during the nighttime. So you don't have to sit there and wait for daytime when you want to grab your next item. Yeah, those are just kind of the few things. It's made the game a lot more palatable for people to play. And I did take a death, so...
yeah, I saw that. I was curious. If you die, does it restart the entire fight over, or...
It does. I at least had Thorn Whip. This wouldn't be too bad. Being Leather Whip, you have to get real close to her. And it just makes it real sketch. But I did get a form of progression, so if I die this time, I'm going to come back later if I need to.
Now, out of all of the items you have to collect in the game, are all of them a necessity in order to complete the randomizer, or...
Everything is required. The only one that is considered required that you don't necessarily need would be the holy water. So if none of your big items are holy water blocked, you can use the nail to do a floor drop in Dracula's castle, and it will bypass what you need the holy water for normally.
Okay.
And if any questions do pop up in chat, I will take them as soon as possible. I just can't look away.
Not to distract you too much by asking too many questions.
No, you're okay. It's just very unfortunate, the string of really annoying seeds I've gotten lately.
I can definitely understand that.
One day I'll actually practice this fight with Leather Whip to learn how to do it without dying.
I mean, I feel like that's a bit masochistic, but I
I mean, I'm sure there's some equivalent like that in the Final Fantasy Rando community.
Yeah,
there's quite a few
I
things
think
like
we
that,
would
but
we'd refer to this as the equivalent of trying to bang chaos down. What is that? 1 in 256?
yeah.
I think that's an optimistic number. I don't remember what the actual ratio is, but 3 in 256. I'm corrected in chat. Sorry. Is that with or without expert?
We did it!
You know,
And I got a whip. That's perfect.
Yay!
That's helpful.
It's both helpful and it's the game saying Couldn't you use this earlier?
Okay, we can now play the video game.
Success.
Which whip did we
Yeah.
get?
Carmilla
Or does it
has a
give it-
lot of health.
So I'm guessing it gives you the whips in order then?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I have the Thorn Whip, and then whatever whip upgrade I find next, it's going to be the Chain
Chain
Whip.
whip. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like Final Fantasy where you're just like, the first chest I opened, Samasa. We're good for the rest of the game.
Oh, and we made it. Sometimes that river can be really sketchy and just about near impossible. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna make this one. That's okay.
Guessing the weird fluid is dangerous to you?
Yeah, that's a swamp or a marsh. That's very painful. But for those who are just starting out on this randomizer, if you play the beginner settings or easy mode, if you have the ring with you, you can equip that, which normally does nothing, and it will give you immunity to that marsh.
With that, you do it the good old-fashioned hard way of jumping through it and praying you don't die.
Yeah, or if you pick up some laurels, that's very helpful too. Now I can come back this way and take care of a couple of checks. And I can actually whip things.
So how many towns are in this game?
Oh,
I've seen you go through 3 now, or 4?
there are quite a few. I'm sure Kylari or Nimbus would have that information. Just math is hard.
I can understand that. Ever do math on Twitch?
I want to say 7?
Yeah, someone was saying 6 towns? Maybe 7? Okay. 7 towns total, yeah.
6 towns plus your starting town.
Yeah, I read that, and it was like 7 towns, 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and 2 past the tornado, and I was like, well, where's the 7th one? It's been a very long day for me.
And then there are 5 mansions. And I did forget about check over here that I never did. Turned around. Oh no, I did not come this way. So we're gonna go say hello to Death.
I feel like he's a reoccurring character in every Castlevania game.
And for the most part, he's usually in a clock tower somewhere.
That's true, that's true.
But this would be what's normally the third mansion in the vanilla game. And this one is normally blocked by the heart. We're going to be seeing, hopefully, a correctly done wrong warp here. But it's a 3-frame window to hit this warp. So we may have to take a walk.
We cannot forget about the wall chicken.
Probably have to do a little bit of farming here. Just because I took that game over. Hearts, I should be okay. It is true, Belmonts can do anything but swim.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've played a game yet where you could swim. You could sink really, really well, but you couldn't really swim.
Might be some of the later ones, but certainly not a Belmont.
Well, I'm thinking even in the later ones, like, I can remember all the way up to the N64 one, and I think water was just as bad in the N64 one.
Yeah, I never played that one. I stayed far, far away from it.
Some of us had made some bad life decisions. Mine is I always seem to find the one video game that nobody ever wants to play, and I'm like, isn't that bad.
There we go. So we obtained our first clue, and we now know where the red crystal will be. So we have not found the town of Alba yet. The clues are actually very helpful for a change. Oh, hello. And, it's very helpful a lot of times, but a lot of times, too, it'll just tell you somewhere you've just been. Or it'll tell you what's in that exact room.
What's garlic for?
Alright, we got it. That was the wrong warp. You have to do that second jump in a 3-frame window. Otherwise it doesn't work, and then you just have to walk to the left and walk around. We were able to get it that time, so it definitely saved some time. However, I'm going to lose that time right now because I'm going to play very safe with death. We will be taking his health 1 HP at a time. I would have told him a different way, but...
So what does the silk bag do?
The silk bag allows you to hold more laurels and more garlic, so you can hold 8 of each instead of 4. Which would be nice if I can find some free laurels somewhere.
I'm guessing the garlic is what you're using on death to pretty much stunlock him?
Yeah, the garlic will stunlock him, and it takes 1 HP at a time. It won't be nearly as slow as that Carmilla fight, but it's still pretty slow.
And I'm guessing it only reads 1 hit at a time, so you couldn't also whip him?
You can't whip him at the same time, no.
So Zelda, the silk bag lets him hold more laurels and garlic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that dagger would have been helpful yesterday. I could have done a crit on death with that dagger. And that fight would have been over in about 3 seconds. That's okay. We're gonna swap over to the dagger. So I don't waste any garlic. But now that garlic opens up 2 checks for me. One of them is going to be just to the right here. And then here's a little issue. Respawning enemies. Ay, ay, ay.
I just was surprised the skeleton took the stairs.
There we go. So if you whip an enemy and you leave the heart there, they won't respawn. A little trick if anyone wants to try this randomizer out. So I'm really hoping the holy water's over here somewhere. That way I can clear this entire side and not have to worry about it again. But we'll see. And then I'm going to kind of do a reverse floor drop here. I'm going to keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping, and there we go.
How long have you been running the Castlevania Randomizer?
Probably about 1.5 years. We do tournaments every year, and coming up within the next week or so, we're actually having our annual winter tournament called the Simon Claus Tournament. That'll be on GG Speedruns, and there's 6 of us, and there will be runners a lot better than I.
I love the name. That sounds like a fun winter event. I know everybody over here at FFR is getting ready for the winter tournament. We had our team tournament and everything else, and it was a lot of work.
Yeah, Final Fantasy, something I still haven't really played a whole lot of, something I would like to do at some point, even just casually.
Well, you should definitely check out the Duckling program. That's where I started, and it taught me a lot about what to do, and it gave me a good jumping off point.
Oh, nice. I will check that out after the stream.
So when you're in the mansions, does it actually do the day-night switch?
No.
You're in there?
Time pretty much freezes there.
I was gonna say, that would be very awkward in the middle of a boss fight and just time changes.
Yeah. Oh, we can finally get this. We're gonna equip the nail. Allows you to break blocks, and yeah, oak stake is very helpful in case I run into another mansion. So far, this has been very friendly with the oak stakes. It's usually not the case.
What is the item you usually want to see as early as possible?
That would probably be the holy water. It opens up the most checks in the game. And you can also use it to crit death if you happen to run into that mansion early. Then in-game, you can actually use it to crit Dracula as well. So I haven't really figured out how to do it very well. And this right here is where Rover Mansion would normally be, but we'll see what's down here. And this is kind of one of those cryptic things that everyone got stuck on as a kid with this game. You have to select the blue crystal, kneel down, and then it drains this lake so you can come down here. This is the town of Algebra right here. I can get one check, but the other two checks here are blocked by holy water, so I'll have to probably come back. Yeah, Kylari made this they had to figure out how to make it so you couldn't soft lock yourself. So on the right side of the map, he was able to build a wall right there. The Great Wall of Kylari.
Guessing that going past that wall causes a soft lock, but like, is it just because of the placement of where it is usually in the game?
Yeah, normally here there would be a wall there where Rover Mansion is, because that's an ending point you can't go past. But if you put a town there, which is open-sided, that kind of leaves room for a soft lock, so that wall really had to go up in order to keep the game from breaking. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to head to the right. I can do one check in that town that was over there, the nail, and then I can do one of the garlic checks, and then I'm going to do a little skip and get to the side of the game where you would normally need the red crystal to get to, but we're going to not play with logic.
Makes me wonder, like, how much of the logic in the game, like, how do I word this? Logic to progression in the randomizer. Like, does it have its thought process where, like, it knows you can theoretically go anywhere, you're just gonna have a harder time at it? Or is it actually, or like, how well planned it out it is? I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, the easiest way I can describe it is like, you can get the ship early in Final Fantasy Randomizer, but it really doesn't do you any good until you get the canal so you can leave.
Right, really, it doesn't help a ton because you still have to find that logic item over here. And then that jump right there is very tricky. You have to be on basically the very, very edge. But, like, I'm doing this, and it's going to put me to where the final mansion would normally be. That's just kind of something we do to holy water or something like that to give us an edge on whoever we're facing in the tournament, or try to maybe even get a whip upgrade of some sort and make the game a little easier and just save a little bit of time. So here I'm going to use 2 laurels. It's going to get me across, and we're going to see what's over here. Right now, I'm pretty much close to go mode. I need, what, Magic Cross and a crystal and 2 items, so it's not too bad. I'll have 2 checks here that may help me. Say, if I get the holy water, I'm going to go right back across that river, and I'm going to go do some other checks. I'll have that Varos check open, then I can go back down, and I can check that town I was able to get the 1 free check in. Okay, I already have one of those.
Empty room that leads to an empty room. And then leads to a guy.
Yeah, it's a little trolly at times.
Like, I won't lie, if I was playing, I probably would have got to the first empty room, and then got to the second one, and been like, nope, I'm done. Clearly there's nothing down here.
Yeah. It would be kind of like with Zelda bombing a wall to find another wall. This game definitely wanted to trick you a lot. I'm just killing a couple of these guys because I'm so close to level 3. There we go. And I won't really need any other level ups. And I can even make it through with the Thorn Whip. I don't necessarily need another whip upgrade. Oh yeah, what Kalari said, logic can be kind of complicated, especially with Town Randomizer.
That's what I was thinking. Like I said, it just... Based off of progression and everything else, I was just curious on how its thought process usually worked. Like... Ooh, an eyeball.
Yeah, the eyeball will let you see clues you can't read, or wouldn't be able to see. Some clues are still blocked by the holy water or the nail. We're going to use the heart here and go to another area. Why this merchant wants to see a heart to take you somewhere else, I don't know, but... That's how the game seems to work.
Well, maybe he thinks you're on an organ donation trip.
But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, there are definitely beginner modes for this, but there are also some very crazy modes that people will do. We have some crazy ones that will do blackout, which makes the screen entirely blacked out, and then also add 1-hit KO and invisible enemies. So there are some very difficult things that I will never touch.
That sounds like a nightmare. Like, the blackout one, I'm just like, how do you know what room you're in?
I guess some people have this game so memorized that they don't need to see.
Well, I know a few people in the FFR community that can usually tell where they are by the music. And I'm like, I don't ever have the music on.
So with these
I didn't
blocks...
think about it, most video games. What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Those blocks that I just crossed, a lot of people had issues crossing those as a kid. You have to go on them as they're going up. However, if you just come onto the screen, go and jump, you'll be perfectly fine to just easily cross. So just kind of some of those little things that were kind of annoying to us back in the day. We did get some progression there. Now we just need the rib. So at this point, I'm actually kind of just hoping that I don't need the holy water. And that means I won't have to go back later anywhere else. We're going to go down and we're going to see a little Easter egg that was put into the randomizer here. So there, as a lot of people are aware, there was some really bad translation in this, especially when it came from Japan to the US.
Hey, Frantic,
And,
can I hold off on showing that? I'm stuck with the commercial break thing on the restream.
oh, okay, yeah. I can always just pause.
Yeah, as soon as she started saying that, it was like, commercial break.
Everyone sub.
Right?
Well, it's not on FFR's end. It's Twitch complaining that I'm restreaming apparently and showing the commercial break. So I don't know. You take one quick break for okay, we're back. Go ahead. One quick break from restreaming and it changes everything on you.
Alright, so yeah, as I was mentioning, the text was very precarious as far as translations went. And there was some mention of a graveyard duck. No one knew what that was. And it was just mistranslation. But Blood, Sweat, and Code, he put a little Easter egg in here for us. And it's actually a duck.
Saying duck.
And I have to despawn the garlic.
That is awesome.
That's a fantastic duck.
Right?
So if anyone's ever seen vanilla speedruns of this, the blob boost is a big thing here. And it saves a lot of time, and you have to try to boost off of a blob, and it's a huge pain. But with randomized enemies, if you get that werewolf especially, or the Medusa heads, or the eyeballs, it's gonna help you tremendously, and you'll be able, anyone can pretty much boost as long as you stand there and just jump whip. But since I already explored that area of the game, I'm not going to actually take that boost. We're gonna go take the tornado as the game devs actually intended.
Now that looks like a difficult jump right there.
Yeah, the invisible blocks are... Oh, before the invisible blocks, yeah, it's just kind of, you have to hang out, like, be on, like, the very, very edge of the block in order to whip jump and be able to make it. If you do a whip jump, it gives you an extra pixel of height. So it can make some of these jumps a little easier.
Right by that mansion. At least I think that was a mansion.
Yeah, that was that extremely hard mansion where the enemies took 1,000,000 hits.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to build a map in my head from this, and so far I'm pretty sure I have no idea where we are.
Yeah, it would be a little easier if you look at a standard seed. But yeah, there are some trackers that have been created that make it a lot easier to learn where everything is and which towns have what checks. We're gonna go see where the flame whip would normally be in vanilla. We're hoping it's some sort of item. I'm kind of not looking for the holy water right now. Would be a little unfortunate to have to go back.
Right?
Well, there we go. It would be the holy water, but... but that's okay. We still have a chance. Yeah, like Carlari said, Town Rando is not exactly a good starting point. This is pretty much just kind of a showcase. I'm wanting to try to build the CV2 Rando community as much as possible. We have tournaments, but they're pretty small so far. Another bright side, I do get to show off the other wrong warp here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Did we just jump through a wall?
Yeah, that's actually normal. You jump through that wall in the normal game, and that takes you to this next room. Not what I was looking for, but I'll take it. Get up here. Alright, so I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna press left, and it warps me. It takes you to what would be an empty version of that very hard mansion from earlier, Laruba. And then you just walk down. If you miss that double floor drop, you walk down. You have to have the holy water for this, otherwise you will get stuck and have to warp out. Just jump. And it puts you pretty much right where the orb is.
What whip are we at right now? We're in the level 4 whip?
Yeah, this is the Morning Star whip.
The Morning Star, okay. What did we find? A golden knife.
Yeah, that's probably the best knife in the game. Be used to kill Dracula more than likely, but it does use hearts, so it has to be used sparingly. So I'm getting that feeling I'm going to have to go back. In fact, I'm about 90% sure I need to go back. We're gonna double check over here anyway.
So, what got you into Castlevania 2 Randomizer, just out of curiosity?
It just happened that I love this game, and I've been playing it since I was a kid. So, when I found out there was a randomizer for it, I kind of got into playing it after I had learned how to do some of the speedrun strats.
Just took off from there?
Yeah, just kind of got from there, and that's kind of my main thing these days.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I bring something just so I can play during lunch 99% of the time, and I am glad for very short seeds in FFR.
Yeah. I'm gonna check this last location, and we're gonna have to go back. Well, unfortunately, the seed's taking longer than I would have liked, but at least I'm not stuck like I was in the last seed that I did.
Yeah, ravioli. Honestly, I didn't know there was a randomizer either. I'm honestly finding more and more of the games that I loved playing as a kid getting randomizers. And there's still a few games that I didn't even know people were playing. Like, I find it quite interesting.
Yeah. Apparently there's a Super Mario 2 randomizer I didn't know about. I don't know how that works, but...
So there was one game we used to play all the time when I was a kid on our NES, and I can never find it again. I don't even know if it really exists. But it was like The Adventure of Tom Sawyer, and like, knowing my luck, there's probably a randomizer out there for it too.
Oops. Okay, so that's one thing I can explain. One of those things, when you do one of those floor drops and you don't let the screen come back down, you jump onto the next screen, it kills you.
Okay. Good to know.
So, I'm just going to grab some hearts real quick because I need to get an oak steak, and I'm going to need to be able to afford whatever's in that town. This would be the optimal screen.
I'm honestly kind of curious about that too. Ravioli was asking if the music had changed this, if the randomizer had changed the music and what key it's in. I don't know if you know the answer or anything about that.
That's Kylari's department for sure. Display. So we're gonna go back, we're gonna grab ourselves an oak steak. But who would want to turn this music off? Probably my favorite NES soundtrack, although I'm biased.
Maybe just a little bit. That boat ride looked like it was a lot better than all the other ones.
Yeah, it helps when you have a whip upgrade. Like I said, some of these rivers are impossible. So we gotta make the check up here at the top. Oh, it's just garlic. And if not here, we're gonna have to probably go back to that town in the far east and check that just to have it out of the way. And then the final spot is going to be that one mansion at the end that I skipped. So there has to be some sort of progression within those 3 locations, or either that or I missed something.
So how many total checks are there in this game? Do you happen to know?
I don't know the exact number. That's a lot of math, but it can't be. It's not too many. It's not, say, like a Into the Past Rando, but like 20 to 30-ish.
Although, you know what I do think would be interesting would be seeing how well this integrated in Archipelago.
You know what?
The Archipelago? I don't know if you've heard of that or played in one or not.
No.
But it's where everybody's linked with different games. So you find other people's items in your game for them to continue progression in their game?
Oh, like a multi-world.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's actually in development by Kalari right now.
Yeah, when I first found out about that, I was like, you can do that? Those are some well-camouflaged bats.
Yeah, they're very camouflaged in this game. Alright, someone boost me. Anyone. I'm gonna take a death here. Okay, we're getting the werewolf.
Then I lost it. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm grabbing the werewolf. It's a little easier.
You bring that up, Sunflash, but it's like, I'm pretty sure in the first Castlevania game I ever beat, they also made you go find all of Dracula's body parts. And that was Symphony of the Night, and I'm like, maybe it's a reoccurring theme. Maybe Dracula just leaves his arms everywhere.
Yeah, this game did it first, but it kind of took stuff for Symphony of the Night from this game. Just without all the fatal flaws this one kind of had.
We're over the ledge.
I thought we're just going to use another one.
And I hope that tree's alright.
So now we're going back the reverse way of what I did earlier. There's that ledge I jumped over. Now we're back here.
So there's 31 items and checks in the game. If I'm doing math right, which clearly I'm probably not, but... So what does the diamond do?
It's a sub-weapon that you can throw.
Oh, okay. The one that bounces off the walls and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Never knew that was a diamond.
Unless I missed a check, both items I need have to be in the final mansion. I've cleared all the other mansions. Oh, shoot. Oh, there is one more location I'm forgetting.
Don't worry, that happens to us all the time. We did a race last week, I think it was, for FFR, and both of the guys got the crown and the adamant at the same time, and they both turned in the adamant and left and went looking everywhere to try and figure out where progression was while they were both sitting on the item they needed to turn in.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so nice we have to do this boost twice. Oh, whoops, I'm not supposed to whip there. And once again, crossing the swamp.
So that is a tree, right? In the swamp right at the beginning?
I'm sorry?
When you first walk into the swamp area, the thing in the middle that's vibrating. Oh, there's another one. Oh no! Looks like a mummy that was stuck in the water. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the enemies, they'll kind of dance in place.
Yeah, it just looked
You
like
really
a
like
very unhappy tree. I was very confused for a minute.
Yeah. The enemies in this game also like the music a lot. So in the marsh, they'll dance around.
Chat over here talking. It's like the game wasn't designed for random enemies in the swamp. I agree. You know.
Imagine that.
At least they're not stuck in the wall. I mean, that could probably cause problems.
Yeah. Oh. They can get in the wall, but it doesn't really do too much. We're one piece away.
Got the crust now.
All that's left is the rib. And of course, that one usually shows up last because it's the most useful. Because if you equip that, it makes a shield.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier, I believe, during the first boss fight.
Yeah.
So, Sorry, I'm just thinking. I don't remember Belmont having shields often. I feel like working a whip and having a shield at the same time could be a little problematic.
Yeah. This is the only game I can recall where you, at least early before like Symphony of the Night, where you actually get a shield. Unless something like the Genesis one had it, I don't know. I haven't really played that one.
That one either.
Yeah, they kind of ended up being that same color because of the zombies.
So then are they really zombies or just very angry townspeople?
Could be both. That's not the rib.
I would be upset if a bunch of zombies were breaking in, you know, in the middle of the night.
Yep, so it's looking like the final piece should be in the 4th mansion of the vanilla game called Bodley Mansion. To its vanilla location, but not there. Or at least I hope it's the last spot to check, otherwise I'm gonna look like an idiot. But we do get to see the glitch NATO one more time.
Yeah, I did wonder what you were being attacked by before I realized it was the tornado.
Yeah, the tornado, it's a bit of a shapeshifter in the randomizer. That's 2 lizardmen dancing. Still 2 lizardmen dancing. Alright, there's a couple of different patterns.
I didn't even see that bat till you hit it.
So if anyone does try this randomizer, I can show you a very good spot to level up if you need one. So up here at the very top of this part of the mansion, normally in the vanilla there'd be some rocks that would fall on your head. But in the randomizer those aren't present and it's replaced by regular enemies. And those rocks have 1 HP. So when you get up here to these guys, most of them are going to be 1 HP and there's just going to be a ton of them. So you can come over here and you can just farm until you get a level, or if you needed hearts. Obviously, some enemy sets are going to be better than others, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to farm there. I'm going to try to do a little floor drop here to save a little time.
That skeleton is really good at jumping backwards.
Yeah. And I let it kind of confuse me, and it made me lose my sub-pixel. So we'll just go.
all the way over like 3 different holes there. And did you jump through another wall?
Yes. That's dev intended. And this is why you have to have a block breaker, because otherwise you cannot get through there.
I feel like kids' version of me playing this game would probably be like, I've been everywhere, I just can't figure out where all these secret areas are.
So yeah, you have to jump through that wall too to get to the merchant. Why he's hiding up here, I don't know. And there we are, go mode. I'm glad he's there.
He is hiding in a very awkwardly weird spot.
And it would be terrible for merchants to make a sale.
My thought process was the man had ribs. I'm not going to sit out in the public area with my ribs. Somebody's going to come steal them. Or want one, and I don't share. So he's probably up there just been like, okay, nobody will find me, I'll be good. And then, you know, you popped out of nowhere and we're like, hey, is that a rib?
I mean, ribs are delicious.
Oh, yeah.
I did forget to mention those bone throwers right there. We do have a lovely nickname for them. The PG nickname for them is Richard. You can imagine they can cause some trouble.
Yeah.
Another laurel. May as well use them. They don't roll over into the next seed.
You can buy more laurels and garlic, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do another seed. Alright, so now we're just looking for a graveyard that we can put all the body parts together and wait for lightning.
We are just gonna go ahead to Dracula's empty castle, resurrect him so we can kill him again. I am going to attempt a crit with the dagger on Dracula, but it likely won't work, so I will probably have to just kill him with the whip, or just spam whip and dagger. Maybe I can actually showcase a seed that doesn't take a year and a half.
I love how your holy water
But I
only got
did
the
make a
one
lot of-
block. I just realized if you stare at the walls long enough, the background pictures look like faces.
Yeah, I noticed that in the towns as well.
I didn't see it as much in the towns, but that top area you walked by, I was just like, that's a giant skull staring at you.
Yeah, they're a little tiny on the blocks, but
Okay,
I think I missed one of the crits. Oh, we'll switch to this, and Dracula will be dead in a jiff.
I love the fact that it literally looked like you pulled out 5 bags of body parts and just put them in one big body part before you throw them in the brazier. Like you didn't want contaminated Dracula.
Oh, and that's Castlevania 2 Town Randomizer. Unfortunately, that seed took too long, and I don't get the best ending, which has custom text. But yeah. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you guys for having me.
Ooh.
The GG's in the chat for Frantic here, and thank you again for running this.
Before I close this out, I was also going to mention we have 2 more extra runs from the marathon. I know tomorrow afternoon at about 3 p.m. Eastern will be a run back of the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga Randomizer. And then tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern will be the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX Randomizer. So, show up sometime tomorrow for those. Those should be on time. We don't have crew lined up for them just yet, but I think we've gonna get that handled pretty well. Anything else? I check donations? I don't see anything on donations.
Yeah. Checking now, I didn't see anything new either.
Oh, yep, we do have one more. You want to get that one?
Yeah, let me see why mine's not loading.
May have to reload the page.
Right. Yep. We got a $5 donation from Danny. Thanks for coming back to do another run, Frantic.
Yep, thanks for having me back.
I want to again thank you for coming and doing a run. Thank everybody for showing up and watching. Again, this has been for the. I lost my page. Where's that? The Burn Children's Fun, and thank everybody for streaming and being here tonight. Sunflash, you have anything to say?
Nope, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down so they can have it back. You guys have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.